Matapos mabigo ang ating kababayan na si Jiri Pinalosa sa hometown Japanese fighter na si Masumuri Tokuyama sa taong 2002 December 20 sa ikalawang laban nila sa ibabaw ng lona, ay naging sunod-sunod naman ang kanyang pagkapanalo dito sa loob ng bansa. Tinalo niya ang isang Thailand national na si Samingkaw Kotipol by round 2 technical knockout sa taong 2004 December 19. At lumipas ang 2 buwan ay nasungkit ni Jiri Pinalosa ang bakanting WBF World Super Flyweight title nang talunin niya ang isa ring Thai national na si Bangsain Sithraprum by round 7. 2005 December 10 ay nakaharap ni Jiri Pinalosa ang tagabansang Paraguay na si Feliciano Dario Ausuaga at tinalo rin ito by unanimous decision. Hanggang sa taong 2006 July 2 ay dito na nakaharap ni Pinalosa ang Meksikano na si Tomas Rojas. May record na 21 panalo, walang talo at 13 natapos by knockout. May edad na 26 taong gulang. May tangkad na 5'8" at mas bata ng 8 taon sa ating kababayan na si Jiri Pinalosa. Itong si Jiri Pinalosa ay may record na 49 wins, 5 losses, 2 tabla at may 33 knockouts. Mas lamang pa ng karanasan si Pinalosa. Pero bago natin ipagpatuloy ang bidyong ito, kung ngayon ka palang napadpad dito sa aking channel, ay huwag mo namang kalimutan na mag-subscribe at i-click ang notification bell para lagi kang updated sa mga bagong uploads pa natin.
Right now, and in the blue with the white trim is Tomas Rojas from Veracruz in Mexico.
First thing you notice that neither guy has
Sa unang round pa lang ng kanilang laban ay maganda na ang palitan ng suntok ng dalawang boksingero. Maya't maya ay naging agresibo na itong si Tomas Rojas.
Penalosa really dipped in and found a weakness in the defense.
I tell you, all the experience of his nearly 50 wins in his career under his belt, and he's right back like he hasn't been off at all. You know, at this stage of his career, at age 33, to be off for a few years is actually good for him. He certainly appears to have his time.
Yeah, you don't get hit for a couple years until your reflexes get a chance to get back in sync, and you're not too old. Not much difference between 33, say, and 31.
And look at this, Rojas is bombs away. I don't think he's a very, very good fighter and a former world champion. He only lost his title, you know, by a split decision in Japan.
And that was frustrating in itself, causing a bit of a
Of action in the very first fight of the evening with his former world champ, working on a guy who would love to be in that territory. Look at this action. Whoa! How about that for a right hand shot by Dulo?
Muhammad Ali now here that really kicks off.
Right hands, left hands, and now here's Rojas trying to come back and make him pay. Looping shot, straight right hand. Shot by Dulo. Look at this, he opens up so much when he throws that big right hand that Penalosa's just trying to time his right hand shot right back. Swing to the left hand, back to the right.
Themselves up well, and Penalosa, despite having an abrasion, is coming forward.
Boy, he really loads up shots when he decides to throw. Rojas has more long, looping type shots. Penalosa has a nice compact style of defense.
Dito sa ikalawang round ay biglang pinatigil ng referee ang laban dahil sa nagdurugo ang kalawang mata ng ating kababayan.
As he walks him down to his own corner. Oh, look at this. I didn't see that. He's cut by the left eye. He's called the doctor in.
Talked about, that's a break in terms of time for Penalosa because Rojas can't capitalize on what he just achieved.
Well, let's see if Rojas can take advantage of the fact that he has him cut. His shots, he's trying to get right back on top of it. So there's a little bit of urgency for Jiri Pinalosa right now. He's going to go to work on this guy. And Rojas is not exactly an easy target. And he's some kind of and that's the powerful shot. So there is that sense of urgency. Penalosa dips a little bit. The cut is open again as it streams down by the left thigh.
And you know the way that Penalosa keeps coming forward, that You're going to get hit with shots coming in as you're making a fans fight. Rojas doing a great job working the body. Peñalosa knowing that that's a danger, that this fight could be, any coagulants can take effect.
I don't think you'll give the round off. Look at him. He's on the assault.
Parang walang kapargurang laban ang ipinakita ng Meksikano sa ating kababayan. Dahil agresibo pa rin ito kahit tatamaan man ang mga solidong suntok ni Pinalusa.
He's missing a lot, but he's landing as well. Oh, big right hand back by Jerry.
I'm not talking about taking the round off. He had to sit there and try to have a little bit of a defensive first posture. It was a decision to make, and he's trying to do a little bit of that by getting on the inside so he could smother and then go to work.
Now he sets up and Jerry closes the gap. He comes in, cuts fly with the left hand, back with the right hand, misses the left and the uppercuts now from Rojas. Man,
so much for intimidation, so much for fighting on the road. Rojas
close. The judges, Arno Passion and Captain Ramon Flores and Ricardo Canlas from this area. I would be surprised if any of them didn't give that to Peñalosa. But on the other hand, there's a case for the nice work that Rojas did with the exception of that last flurry in the third round. This is round 4 from Manila in the Philippines. Araneta Coliseum.
Rojas has invested in his chin. He is letting shots go. He is willing to take the risk because he's the guy that could be on the outside using height and reach. He's just going inside, wailing away. He is fighting Peñalosa's fight, believing that he can cut him, that he can outpunch him. But when you do...
And landed by Peñalosa. Back with the looping right is Rojas. Digs to the body of Rojas. You know, I talked to Rojas about losing the close decisions that he has. He lost 3 of the last 5 fights. This guy doesn't look like a guy that lost 3 of his last 5 fights against a former world champion, Jerry Peñalosa. This looks like a good fighter.
Now, he talked about thinking that he won those fights, and although almost every fighter will say that, some guys will come out and have the look of someone who may have lost some tough decisions and not gotten the right call. We'll have to see how he stands up over the course of the fight. But one thing is he has decided tactically to do Peñalosa a favor by fighting in tight like this. He can still win, but he's getting caught with stuff he doesn't have to. If you have the height and reach, why not use it?
Now he's trying to, but Peñalosa has the skill of working in there, and he's terrific.
That is, by being on the inside and letting Peñalosa smother Rojas, now he's not getting a chance to open that cut with the good stiff jab on the outside. The only thing that would open it now would be some kind of a clash at the heads.
Remember, this kid Rojas is strong. He's never been down in his career. He's never been cut. And in fact, he told me he's never even been in trouble in any fight. He just gets beaten on close to...
Dropped his right hand. Look how open he is.
Oh, yeah, he's wide open when he drops it. And Peñalosa has enough experience to be able to take it right there. And that time he drops the left shoulder. And he's putting it up. Now, here's Rojas that I thought won the first 2 minutes of the round, and he's still taking body shots. But that little flurry like that, here in Manila, is going to give the judges an opportunity to score.
And that is one reason why Rojas has been losing some fights he thought he won.
Peñalosa here now is taking advantage of the mistakes that Rojas is making. He's countering him. When he drops his left hand, he's throwing punches, and then he drops his right hand and get nailed with the left. A couple of pretty good uppercuts, but Jerry blocks most of them with his gloves.
And Peñalosa can work on the body shots with Rojas coming to him like this. Rojas, he wants to mix it up a little bit, not have one predictable style. He's in dice roll territory here. He might do well.
Cut taken on the chin. This is good stuff. Meanwhile, Jerry's got to be very careful defensively that he didn't get blasted on top of that left eye.
Nang matapos ang ikapitong round sa pagitan ni Jerry Pinalusa at Tomas Rojas, ay bigla itong sinigawan ng Meksikano ang ating kababayan.
Battles to the belt. Man, another close round, Dave.
Yes.
Pinakita lang siguro ng Meksikano na hindi pa ito napagod at gusto pang bubugin si Jerry Pinalusa.
The 8th round now, and that cut is open up again.
Fortunately for Peñalosa, it's below the eye, and it's not above where he can trickle in and really force the doctors to take a quick look at it. He's done a good job keeping
Athletes that have come in here in magnificent shape to put on a show for the crowd in attendance, and they absolutely love it here. This is round 8. His action slowed down just a little bit, but you'd expect it because he's been infuriated.
The fact that this should slow down a little bit later.
Well, looping shot that time by Peñalosa, and Rojas was right back and way back, and it may have changed his strategy a little bit for this fight because while he has to be offensive enough to win the fight, he's got to be defensive enough so he doesn't get caught on top of it. Landed a couple of good shots on the inside there. There's the right hand, left hand, straight left. And whenever he lands something, you hear the crowd react. Yes, right left hand. That's his power shot. This guy looks like he might be ready to go. At least if you're enjoying it as much as we are describing it for you, Dave.
You know, the lighter weight fighters so often give you great excitement. They come in there, they wing, they're not overweight, right on top of things. And Rojas knew that he had to come in here, take the judges out of it, was his viewpoint, because he can't seem to win a close decision. And for Peñalosa, given what Pacquiao has done, his own desire.
Peñalosa holds him off, gets those hands high, and as the hands come down at Rojas, Peñalosa shoe shines him with some pretty good power with 2 punches, doubles the jab.
And again, Rojas on the inside will do Peñalosa a favor fighting this way because it sets up an easy place for Peñalosa to have shot. He gets inside, he counts.
The left elbow and then come back upstairs with a double hook with his right hand nailing. Just like he set up right there. And see, Rojas, it's much easier to spot and pick up, but this guy is so aggressive. There it is, right there. He has the idea. He knows exactly what he's doing. Now all he has to do is spin him and throw the right.
He's not gotten momentum. Now Peñalosa is starting to tee off with the opening.
He's looking.
Hanggang umabot sa huling round ang kanilang bakbakan, ay patuloy pa rin ang pagiging agresibo ng Meksikano.
That in a way has got to frustrate Jerry. Peñalosa trying to get in position and nail this guy. Picks off his shot. See the way he parried that punch with his right hand, pushed it down, but he couldn't get back in position to let his own right.
Throughout the middle rounds and the later rounds of this fight, and the confidence is oozing out of him now as he's happy about the fact he can load up, throw a lot of punches. He's evading the shots by Tomas, and so he's scoring big now.
Last 50 seconds of the fight, and Peñalosa still looking for his shots as Rojas tries to put the pressure on him. Now to this point, you'd almost have to give the round in many ways the clean shot. If this was a 12-round fight, it'd probably go the same way for the last couple of rounds. But this has been some sensational performance by 2 tremendous professionals.
Nang matapos ang huling round, ay sinigawan na naman ang ating kababayan sa dayuhang Meksikano.
Never down. There's the bell. How about that?
At nang in-announce na ang scorecard ng Kalaban, ay wagi pa rin si Peñalosa sa Kalaban.
All for your winner by unanimous decision, Jerry Peñalosa.
At dito na nagtatapos ang ating video kung saan wagi ang ating kababayan by unanimous decision. Pero bago natin tapusin ang video ito, ay shoutout po muna sa mga sulit nating subscribers dyan na laging nakatutok sa GN Boxing TV. Shoutout po kay Leg na Jimmy Rabelo, Milaner Laranjo, GC Pakanan, Rolly Balongoy, Manny Joe Ginawat from Mindanao, Gistone Kapkaban, Swan, at sa lahat po ng bumubuo sa GN Boxing TV. Shoutout po sa inyong lahat. So yun, thank you for watching mga idol, at huwag kakalimutan na mag-subscribe, at salamat po sa lahat ng sumusuporta. Peace.